What's poppin'? We back, free game.
Free game.
We got a couple of guests on the panel today. Got myself, Madman.
Sean P.
My name is Alana.
Nice Supreme.
And we in here finna talk about a few topics today. And first, we gotta start with what's been shaking the Twitterverse in the social media world for the last week and
Let's
some change.
get down to it.
Drizzy Drake Rogers versus Pusha T.
Push your tongue.
King.
I mean,
My name is my name.
by now, you know, we're a week plus in now, a couple rounds into this whole thing, and everybody knows what's happened so far. So we're at the point where Drake is not responding. We don't know if he's gonna respond. It's coming out that Jay Prince may have put out something in the air that's telling him not to respond. So I mean, at this point, what do y'all feel about Drake's situation in the beef so far?
I kind of feel like right now at this point he's like fighting a losing battle, to be honest. Just because
He's playing for pride.
Yeah, like at this point, because it's like he has to say something. Like he can't let this go. At least from what Pusha T has said about him in the last song, so he can't let it go.
We need
But at the
questions
same-
answered.
Yeah, there's questions that need to be answered. I feel, but at this point, I don't think he's gonna win the battle. Cause what can you say back? Like, what are you gonna say to attack Pusha T's manhood the way he attacked yours?
Because he don't got skeletons like that.
Right. So it's like
At least.
it's kind of hard. Then there's also the rumor that he's going around paying people $100,000 trying to find her. That makes
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, but that,
Oh yeah.
See,
Makes
that means it ain't nothing out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing out there.
That makes Drake look like a sucker, because now it's like you're paying for information.
Drake is sucker.
This information that Pusha T got is free. Like this is, you know what I'm saying?
That's fact. It's in research.
Yeah. So I mean, that's how I feel. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's so crazy though, is that Drake's fans, like, literally he can do anything, and like they won't acknowledge the blemish in his career. They'll actually try to defend him. They're like, you know what I'm saying? Like the whole blackface thing came out, it was, I need an explanation. You know what I'm saying? With anybody else, it would have been already done deal.
Yeah,
Get him the fuck
That's
out.
facts.
Yeah,
That's
right.
facts.
Career done.
They were trying to give him a pass, kind of with the
So,
can he qualify?
That's what I'm saying. But then honestly, you think about that. If you put that into perspective, Drake really, if he don't acknowledge anything and he just proceed to announce his son via the Adidas line,
it's
and
weak.
keep everything. I mean, his core fan base ain't gonna care. They're actually gonna eat that shit up.
That's true.
So like
He's
you
still
said,
gonna give us a top 10 album.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's neither here nor there.
you know,
But like you
true.
said, I mean, there's questions that need to be answered. You know, the all the information that's been put in the air, and you ain't said nothing but the one little statement. And that still leads me to the question, but why was you wearing blackface?
Why was you in
Yeah.
blackface?
Yeah.
I don't
You
even
gave
like
a
this
response.
response.
But why was you wearing blackface? The response still left me with the same
And then
question.
I think he tried to like bury the dude who shot the pictures. Like, oh well, he did it too. So you know, I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
like-
no.
My thing
Like,
is, so I seen somebody say, well, Mos Def did it. He wasn't smiling with the hands up doing the actual.
yeah, like he looked
Making
happy,
yourself look like. All right, so it's like this. You being not from here in general, you already a guest to the culture. You understand? And it's just like people. He's been with so many high rollers that give him so much clout that he feel like he's not a guest no more. Like he really run what's going on here, and that's part of the issue.
And the people gave him clout. The people here gave him clout.
Yep. So they don't understand. Like people be like, a Canadian rapper, like no, a Canadian rapper that blew up in America.
Yeah.
Y'all propped him up.
Yeah.
Y'all put him on a
Well,
pedestal.
I mean, let's not act like it wasn't for good reason, though. I mean, he was giving us
Oh,
reasons
yeah,
to pop
we got
him
it.
up.
You right.
No, that's
You know what
true.
I'm saying?
You
So
right.
it's not just us being like, oh, giving him hype. Like
right.
he was providing that, you know, whatever. So it's like,
And I
it
think
goes hand in hand.
I think one of my issues with it when the blackface came out, and some of that information when it came to that, I had an issue with when it came to having his child Adonis that we didn't know anything about, trying to start for a press release for the new shoe that he wanted to put out under Adidas. That's the issue, because
that's wild.
what comes to my mind is people want to try to justify it and give him a pass for all of those things, but he never brought up any of those things in his music ever. So if we really dig into Drake's music, has he ever really been that deep? And what I mean by that is, the only hardships and struggles that we really know that he's been through are when it comes to relationships. Mostly, I mean, let's get into it.
Yeah, he got the
and some of the stuff with his dad, and I know he was talking about with his mom too as well.
The Memphis, Toronto, his dad, his mom, he got those.
But I think it's more like more recent material was going against everything that we hear. Right?
He was talking about in his response specifically on Instagram. I was kind of having trouble at that age with getting acting roles. So I chose, I wanted to bring the awareness towards racism. I was having trouble with my identity. We didn't hear about you having trouble with your identity. We didn't hear about you having trouble with getting acting roles, because if he would have brought that up, even as Canadian born, there would have been other people that would have, even other athletes, other actors, other entertainers that would have been like, you know what, we've actually had some of the same issues. Then it would have been out there.
I think part of the problem is too, that's the main issue right there, is the identity crisis, because Drake has always had pen. That's how he got on in the first place. He always had pen. The nigga could write. He could rap. He could write R&B. He got credits on a lot of R&B and a lot of records that you wouldn't think that Drake had credit on. He always had pen. But where he got into the problem was people were saying, oh, he's too soft. He's too simp. So he started trying to get into that bully rap lane to kind of like knock that stigma off. And that's where the lack of genuinity came in. Like when it came out that he didn't write that, if you're reading this tape, I was like, okay, this makes sense. Like it didn't sound like it in the first place.
It didn't even sound like
that's that. I was glad, because I was like, yeah, I knew you didn't stoop to this level. Like that's not what you do. Yeah. Your pen is, sooner than later. Your pen is get over it. Your pen is,
comeback season Drake.
Your pen is the presentation. Your pen is congratulations. Your pen is all these joints.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Not 10 bands, 50 bands. That's not your
motto.
Yeah.
When motto first came, remember
Think about it though. Think about it. Like that's what I'm saying. It's like he has this allure to where he'll do something outrageously corny, but then follow it up with so much other shit you just forget about it. Remember the free joint with DJ Khaled? Stole the whole verse.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. Facts.
And that's not the first time.
He always get bailed out. He always get bailed out.
But at the same time, I think we also have to consider the fact that he was in the conversation for being one of the best rappers.
Yeah.
And I don't think he could have skated by being one of the best rappers, continuously just doing what he was doing as far as the soft rap guy.
Yeah.
At some point, he was gonna have to get
gully
with somebody.
He still had him.
He was his own. He was his own type of superstar though.
And that's fine. But at the same time, if you got people coming at your neck, you can't be the soft guy.
That's
you know what I'm saying? All the time. You gotta combat that with what they're coming at you with, because you can't sing to a nigga in a rap beef. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can, but you can't.
Shout out to Eric Bellinger.
Hello. That's why I say you can, but you can't.
That's a little different.
He had headlines on it, didn't he?
Yeah. He spit on there, but that's what I'm saying. He was still spitting with.
No, Take Care was still hard.
And there was R&B on there, but he was spitting too on the tape.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if somebody like a Kendrick is coming at you, what is he supposed to?
Well, he's gonna bow out. He's gonna bow out of that.
You should do.
I'm just saying, if you're entertaining that,
he can't even handle push.
No, that's true. But I'm just saying, if we're entertaining rap beef, what are you?
That's true.
Are you supposed to be the soft rap guy?
And even,
you know what I'm saying?
Even to Alana's point, I do understand the perspective of, okay, there have been people in recent years calling Drake out for being a little bit soft and singing maybe a little bit too much on albums.
Yeah.
Now here's the problem. The problem that some of us had was that it may have been a little bit too much singing. The thing is, he's always appealed to women. Right. He's always appealed to women.
So I never knocked that from
him. Yeah, and he likes it. Let's keep it a buck. He's always appealed to women. So that part of it, I actually even never had a problem with. Yeah. A lot of even the R&B joints, he's a good writer. Yeah. Let's not forget, we saying that he got a good pen. He's always had a good pen. He's always been able to write rap in that sense, but Quinn Miller did help you. But but he's always been able to write R&B joints as well. We never took that away from him. I think where we had a little bit of an issue with, and even me in particular, was over some of the more recent years to couple and combine it with not necessarily writing all of his stuff like he once had claimed, not necessarily being all R&B, but then okay, but if you're not soft and if you're good with your identity, why are we hearing these other types of songs? Or you got a feature with with JB Block Boys and that's all we're saying.
You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta poke your chest out. You being tried. So it's like, you know,
to add to that, like he'll run around the country and tap in with different people just to get they clout, they street cred.
That's facts. He does that a lot.
Yeah, he does.
He puts them on.
And JB Block Boy.
That's true.
No question. He puts them on. Block Boy blew up in one day. You know what I'm saying? But that helps Drake out though. Now I got this hood behind it.
It does help.
I gave back to that hood. Now that hood love me.
It does help.
That's what he do.
It's just like with him and Houston.
Miami.
Like, you know what I'm saying? He started out doing a lot of stuff like with Houston, and now he can go to Houston anytime he wants to.
But that's what I'm
saying.
Also, the whole Quentin Miller thing, did he really get help, or did he like be like,
oh no, he got help.
Hey, bro, this song is really good, but you don't rap on me.
I think it was both.
I think it was a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I think it was a little bit of both because the whole thing is where a lot of people have actually given him a huge pass on is prior to this beef situation. In the last 2-3 years, what we're really talking about is, well, wait a minute. It's not necessarily that you're getting help writing bars in certain songs or a hook. Artists have helped each other for years doing that.
Yeah.
What we've been saying is like, well, wait a second now. You're stealing someone's cadence and flow.
Yeah.
There's a difference now. Because getting help on a hook or having someone feature, you see what I'm saying? Now we're talking about you're actually stealing in another artist's flow and cadence. And if you're not already giving him credits for his flow and cadence, now what are we talking about?
That's
bigger. That's a bigger issue.
To go back to what you was talking about a little bit, because that's where he started getting challenged, and it was when that's not even you. Okay, let me say something to you. He happened to be such a good writer that he was able to body meet. You know what I'm saying with a diss. You know what I'm saying? He's a good battle. He actually a good battle rapper. Like
he's very
you know,
precise.
you know what I'm saying? Because he can write, but
and he can come at you with personals. Yeah, he got those.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you gotta go back and realize you're dealing with a child actor from Canada, and you let him come in and run the game.
That's true.
Did we necessarily let him though?
Wayne gave him the cosign.
Oh no, Wayne gave him the cosign.
Well,
Yeah, that's the only one.
Okay, that's fine.
Everybody gave him the cosign.
That's true.
But if he doesn't live up to that cosign, then what does it mean?
No, I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if he doesn't live up to that, then it's not the same. You know?
That's what I'm saying. He was on his way. And
that definitely helped. I see what you mean.
You can just definitely say with him, you did not stay the same.
No.
Even just your whole catalog, what you talked about. This me and you'll never hear a reply for it. To now, you know what I'm saying?
You shoot at everybody.
Like now you all of a sudden you a bully rapper. You'll poke at somebody first, like
You know.
Well,
that's what happens. That's what happens.
Nah, yeah, that's been the main issue is that people haven't dug deep into the core of what he's really been doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to give somebody a pass as opposed to really digging a little bit deeper and really seeing who this person is.
And we still gotta go back. Why was you wearing blackface? Because in the
that's gonna pass for that.
What's it called? In the explanation he gave, that was in my acting days in 2007. First of all, we know that you were on Degrassi. We know that show first aired in 2001. We know that
on there.
In between that time, you was on that show. After you got shot in the hallway and you was in the wheelchair, you came back and you rapped on that show, which was before 2007. You were already a rapper. You asked Degrassi not to make you rap, but they did it anyway.
Let's go now.
So you were a rapper at the same time as you were an actor. So let's not use that as, that was my acting days. No, these are still your acting days. You're acting like a rapper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he got a role. I mean, he got a role. It's not like he didn't get on there now. I mean, he was on Degrassi.
His whole explanation that didn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Nah,
Just for the simple fact that I feel like he tried to make it seem like his own way try to identify with like actual black actors that go through stuff like that.
See?
And the problem is, it's like my nigga, you're light skinned. Like, you're not
And
facing
you're
the
from
same.
Canada.
You're not
Yeah,
facing
you're not
the
facing
same
with an
accent.
plight that these darker actors are actually going through.
Morgan
Like, you're not,
Freeman, Sidney Poitier.
you're not going
I
through
mean,
that. So it's like you could have kept that part out of it and just be like, you know what, I made a mistake. Like, I messed up. I shouldn't have done it.
That's my thing.
Ownership.
Just
own
say,
it.
hold
Own
yourself
it.
accountable.
You know?
You have people justifying, for him talking about, well, it might have been for a school project, or it might have been for
I
Jim
ask
Crow
Naeem,
Couture,
Because I seen you was talking about this on Twitter the other day, to what she just said. It's not the same plight as somebody would experience from here.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think about that part of it? Like the fact that him being a foreigner and being, a light bright, basically it's not the same as it's not the same outlook. Like, how would you touch on that?
I mean, honestly, it goes back to, where the epicenter of the culture is, wherever you are, if you're observing it, you can't be in it. That's all it is.
That's true.
From the outside looking in, once you get in it, you can feel like, oh, I've gained this experience, so I can hold it up to this, but that's you comparing it to the old you, So, I mean, I like he was saying on Twitter, I had to mute the tweet because they was going in 2,000 mentions, but they was going in, and I was just trying to put it in perspective for a lot of people that aren't from America. They don't understand that. I mean, you could understand on the surface level that blackface is bad, it has its history, but if you see that, what Drake was when we was coming up, like middle school, high school, Drake was like somebody that we was listening to in the streets, like this is like early internet era, like MySpace, all
he
that.
was on my MySpace.
If he was on our MySpace, you had to fuck with somebody tough to have him on your MySpace. And then for him to, we built him up to what he was, and then he just was just like, this is what I wanted to be for y'all, but I'm gonna go this way with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like he pulled a rug from under us. That's why I feel the way I do, honestly.
Yeah, because that's what originally made him so dope, was that he was different. Like, it was like, okay, like, you not from where we from, but your talent is there. Like, we see what you can do,
and he was
we gonna accept you for it. Yeah, you saw authentic. We gonna accept you for it.
Yeah.
There's people that thought Drake. I have personal friends that thought Drake was a singer. They heard Drake sing before they heard him rap, and still loved him the same way. Like, he was gonna be good, but it's just once you start getting so much clout, it just turned him into a whole nother monster.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So and now, how do we kind of feel about Pusha T's response in this? That to me that's big. He was able to take what Drake did. He gave Drake the 3-day weekend on that Memorial Weekend.
He out strategized somebody who was strategic.
He gave him the 3-day weekend on that.
Because if you think about Drake with the whole Meek Mill situation, the real reason why Drake won that is because he was very strategic in how he chose to attack Meek.
That's true.
And he knew that Meek couldn't handle certain things, or you know what I'm saying, and so he played it perfectly. Because he knew Meek wasn't going to be intelligent enough to go back and put something together. He just was going to rush something out because he's a battle rapper.
And Nicki wasn't giving no info.
So it was like, I got to have something out now. Like, forget waiting, forget trying to get facts, forget all that. I got to have something out now.
That's true.
Like clowning me.
Yeah.
Pusha T, on the other hand, is like, Nick, I can rap.
Nah,
all I need to do is get these facts together, and it's a rap.
No, that's a rapper. That's a lyricist.
Meek had a chance though. He could have did it, but it would have been on the first song.
Yeah.
He's a battle rapper. Like, this is what he come from, but he's not an industry dude. He tried to handle it like an industry nigga. Like, he tried to play it cool and like, I'm not gonna spaz out. He was supposed to come bully him and attack Drake. Authenticity right then and there. And he had the streets behind him so much, still do, that he could have crushed him right then and there. But he didn't spit.
He said that somebody pissed on Drake's leg and didn't nobody care about that, bro.
Yeah,
like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like Meek went a little bit light too because of the Nicki situation as well.
Absolutely.
Kind of was almost
That's
treated.
on him.
No, it is on me. It is on me.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I'd have been like, choose sides. Like, who you with, me or him? Like,
For real. I would have water. And threw her out, baby, with the bath water. That's how you win.
Yeah.
Nah, he could have went a little harder. Yeah, that's true.
Threw her out with him.
That's true.
Straight up. Either you with me or you with him.
Man,
You got to decide. Like,
You know Meek was rapping about Nicki way before.
Nah, that's true.
He wanted them for sure.
Yeah.
That's true.
But yeah, but Push, to get back to Push, Push out he was just more tactical.
And went for the heart. Start stabbing.
Yeah.
He angled him to death. Because, I honestly think the Duppy Drake had a little more punchlines. Like, Drake was ripping in his.
Yeah.
He had more punchlines than Infrared. He did.
But and in the then in the Adidan, but Adidan he angled and he tagged something personal. It was way more than the bars. He
took a couple personal things actually.
And then to end it all off, you could have got through it all. This generation is so fucked up that you could have got through the kid thing because we know you got money. We know you sending money, so that's fine.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But the blackface.
That's
with
the
rest of it.
Why
was you in blackface?
Why was you in blackface?
You was not supposed to be in
You have a child. You have a child.
Yeah.
You know, so
He gotta see Push with the hands for that 40 line. He gotta fight.
He won't. Drake won't. Drake won't.
what can you say back to somebody who's a pioneer? He's a pioneer. He ain't never had no scandals.
People don't know Push is 41.
He's been in this.
Push is 41.
He's came up. I mean, the only thing you could do is out money talking,
That's
but
what I'm saying.
That's not
already
gonna work.
crushed.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, especially he can really go at Drake with the money thing too, because you underpaid. So he could attack that whole, you know what I'm saying?
Push got his info.
Yeah, so it's either gonna be the end of the beef right here.
I think Drake not gonna respond. I don't think he's gonna respond.
Not end it.
Ye said
That's what he said. Yeah,
he said it's over.
Ye do not have the power to end that.
Hey, you missed the interview with Pusha T on Breakfast Club. He was saying
I watched it.
I don't know
he
what
said he was like, I'm the president of good music, but Kanye the owner.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with the
That's
beef.
facts.
Push told Ye to stay out the beef.
Yeah, he said he want all the curses too. That's true.
Me verses, 3 hearses. He said it's just
I need all the curses. That's true.
Yeah, but I mean, Push kind of falls behind Kanye though. Like if you look at their relationship dynamic, he pretty much does what Kanye says.
Yeah, but Kanye's not in the Pusha versus Drake thing like that. Drake tried to drag him into it. Kanye had wants no beef. There's no beef on Kanye's end.
Yeah, that's true.
That don't have nothing to do with Push.
That's true. But Drake's whole point was that, you know what I'm saying, with the same thing you're clapping at me over, clap at your owner, because he does the same thing. Because Kanye does the same thing.
And he was born that shit. He was born.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, and Drake was, but see, and that's why I like what Pusha did. What Pusha did was, okay, that's cool. You throwing some shots at me, some shots at Ye.
More.
But Pusha directed it now.
Yeah, he said
I want you, Drake. This is between me and you. Now, let's not get it twisted. Now, I like.
Think about that.
Pusha
The whole
brought
song,
it back.
Drake never said Pusha T in the whole song.
He never said the whole song.
But he said tell Ye. He
That's
said
true.
Ye's name.
That's true.
But he said Pusha's fiance name.
See.
Let it ring on you like Virginia.
That's where you did fucked up, Drake.
Yeah,
That's where you
probably
fucked
should have
up.
just held that, bro.
Yeah, because now he talking
You know
about
you
your
did fucked
mama.
up. You know you did fucked up now.
Cause now that nigga Push said, okay.
Okay.
And
Okay.
But I'm telling you, this has got to be the Drake effect, because when W Freestyle dropped, it was like, oh, Pusha don't respond in 3 days. It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now the Drake fans is like, oh no, he writing something. Like, just wait.
Well, that's
We been waiting.
It's over. He already lost the battle. Smack cost time already.
Yeah. There was a lot of Don DeMarco.
It's over. 3-1. It's over. It's bad.
It's over. You know, you could call it either way. It's 2-1 or 3-0 Push. Either way, Push
It's 2-1,
one. You know, you can give Drake the first one.
And you're not allowed to even have any input if you ain't never did the grinding beat on the lunch table.
Factual.
That's all we saying, though. That's all we saying.
Facts.
If you don't know,
if you never got a detention because your teacher kicked you out of class for doing the grinding beat, it don't matter.
Grinding. Let's talk about it.
Had me rapping about drugs and I had no idea what this thing was talking about.
How can you angle back at somebody like that?
Nah.
You can't. At this
And
point,
he comes from that era. Pusha T
Yeah.
comes from that era. Like he's seen and studied all the great battles.
Oh, yeah.
you can't swag him out right now, and you can't punchline him.
No, but you gotta understand. I don't know.
He
I
gotta
feel
fight
like,
him.
Exactly.
He has to fight him.
That's all you gotta do.
He has to throw hands.
Pusha will
He don't want that.
It's
I'm
so
just saying.
wild though.
Drake
because
is
Drake literally got an arsenal in his hands. Because you think about it, like as soon as Pusha fired back, it's like, oh shit, you took it too far. Where are your morals? Fucking the NS Society stepped out and was like, you know what I'm saying? Like we gotta tweak on this. Like,
but at the same time,
And that's cool, but gloves
But you
come
already know
off.
Push is
Yeah.
Gloves is already off now.
And I mean, and
Drake put that. He opened the can of worms.
That's true. And if we thinking all the way about it, Pac talked about niggas having sickle cell.
that's what I'm saying.
Like, are we really like?
that brings up the
come on,
question.
yeah, like,
50 Cent? 50
Exactly.
Cent
talk
job?
about his kids.
Rick Ross and 50 Cent?
Exactly.
Come on.
This is battle rap. Nothing is off limits right now.
Nothing.
Everything is fine. Everything is above the
Speaking
belt.
of
So
Ja Rule,
far.
why did he say
Yeah.
that his loose change was like one of the hardest disses ever?
Hey, yes.
Nigga, if you don't fall back,
We We not even gonna do that to John.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that to John.
We're not talking to you,
I'm not gonna do that to
And
John.
I love John. I love John's music, but we're not talking.
I don't.
Bro. Like,
You can put that with that Quentin Miller song that came out that
like,
didn't nobody
we
listen
not
to.
talking
what was
to
it
you, my
called?
nigga. Like,
It was he was speaking on the whole Drake thing.
Wait, I
Nobody
heard it.
listened
I
to
played it one time.
It was
Why-
on beat.
why was the
That's why
album
you
art-
didn't
I was
fuck
hella weak, and then came, but somebody quoted it and said, "Whoa, this is trash."
no, but what
I was like,
happened
just for that, I gotta play.
was the album art with him on there with the peg leg. My nigga, why'd you do that?
That's his new MO though.
Yeah, like, why'd you do that?
I didn't know he really lost a leg.
He
Yeah,
lost
he
the
did. He got
leg,
a parts in
fam.
it.
He's literally on the wow. He's literally on the shit with the peg.
Best
Oh,
of
no,
luck.
yeah.
Best of luck to QM.
Niggas
Nah, he lost a leg.
Niggas the rap Blackbeard playing.
He actually be cool. I listen to some of his music. I mean, he's cool. Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't necessarily mind it.
I think he just be getting the wrong end of the stick.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't see why he ever got this for writing hits. Like, I would like.
He got
That's
right.
what I'm saying.
That nigga was at work, caught a straight bullet, didn't even know it. Like,
I ain't never write a hit. I got paid. What the fuck? Like,
He the one that was writing the hit.
he was like checking his phone, like, what the hell?
yeah. Oh, no.
His flow the one that got
He
me.
like, what?
I guess he couldn't battle rap his way out of it.
Yeah,
Shit.
no.
At the end of the day, Pusha won.
Yeah, fact.
Drake not gonna respond in a song, and I doubt he's gonna come out with another Instagram post because that was weak. That's not gonna end it.
No.
Tell you, he
I'm
gonna
not gonna let you drop these.
You know
why was you in blackface still?
Yeah.
Why would you
His
do
response is gonna be a top 10 record that we all gonna love. That's his response.
It better be called Blackface.
Yeah, he better call it blackface.
that? He gotta
And
do
the whole,
something
he'll dress the
crazy.
whole thing and then I'll be like, hey bro, okay.
He gotta do
Blackface in
something
parentheses,
crazy.
my bad.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right, we'll leave it at that. I think we talked about this. Beat a dead horse.
Yeah.
So, free game.
Free game.
Gang.
Gang.
Valentino Summers and Wave Runners. Chains on my niggas like slave runners.